Welcome to another Power Rangers Dino Fury review. Today it is episode 14 of Season 1 entitled Old Foes. And we're going to get right into it with our review of the episode, what happened, what we liked, what we didn't like, and of course our monster rating of the week. Please do give the video a thumbs up and of course like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. So we open up in Area 62. There's a robed figure walking um, through the bad guy base, and he is there to steal some Sporix Beast. Turns out it is Lord Zedd, the evil Emperor himself, as a child of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And someone with a Z, Zach, someone with a Z name. I liked Zach, the Black Power Ranger, and I liked Lord Zedd because they had Z names like me. That was how my child brain worked. So always good to see Lord Zedd. Although we'll get into some of the unique ways they brought him back. But basically, before he can strike down Void Knight, someone tells him to stop, and he calls that person Master. We find out this is the sorcerer named Regal, I believe is the name. It's R-E-A Ghoul. And this is the person who is commanding Zedd. He has brought him back from the dead, and he is basically has put a compliance collar on him as well. Regal is Ghoul. Also brings back Wolfgang and Brian Blast from earlier in the season. And basically, he wants a Sporix Beast from Void Knight. Says, with this awesome power I have now, imagine what I could do if you gave me a Sporix Beast. They make a deal, which is Void Knight says, if you bring me the Rangers, I will give you a Sporix Beast. This is, I should say, the Halloween kind of themed episode. The Rangers are at Buzz Blast picking out some potential costumes. Ollie pretends to not be afraid of anything. So he makes a deal to do a haunted trail because the other Rangers say, you got to be afraid of something. So they kind of set up a little haunted mansion kind of style thing out near the Ranger hangout. So Brian Blast, I should say, shows up, distracts the Rangers. Lord Zedd shows up and throws sleepy cuffs, I believe is the actual term they use. Basically, they are handcuffs that put you to sleep. The Rangers are knocked out. All of the Rangers except for Ollie are caught because he is off on the haunted trail, where he runs into Wolfgang and Brian Blast. He sees them, tries to take them out. We kind of get into some clip episode kind of things where we see how they defeated some of these monsters in the past and some stuff on Lord Zedd. And Solon basically gives him the little pill that stops Wolfgang from howling so he can defeat him. He defeats them both pretty easily by himself, which was like kind of putting those two Sporix beasts pretty far down, but they are able to regenerate immediately afterwards. He ends up using the spin key and Elasto Dino key. I think this is the first time we have seen the spin key, at least that I remember. And somehow Ollie knows who Lord Zedd is, kind of. It seemed like it was a very mixed match about who knew who Zedd was and who he didn't, but I guess confirmed the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is in canon for this. But we get a recap of a lot of Lord Zedd's kind of highlights as far as what he did, because we're looking for ways to defeat him. And we get clips of Alpha and Zordon and Zedd and the Dark Rangers, which with those terrible outfits. We see how Zordon was able to sacrifice himself in Power Rangers from Space and launch this giant energy beam to cause goodness to go across the universe. And obviously, Ali is saying, I can't do that, but I can deal with a compliance collar. Again, another clip. We see a clip from Beast Morphers where they show kind of where I guess the compliance collar was introduced and used in that season. So basically, Ollie's plan is simple. I'm going to remove the compliance collar. Lord Zedd's probably not happy that he is being controlled, and he will probably exact his revenge. And pretty much happens immediately. Ollie shows up, has a dino dagger, does a little boomerang action with it, knocks off the collar, and he is correct. Lord Zedd is not happy, but he is Lord Zedd. He is very difficult, and they obviously do not want him running wild. So the Rangers, Wolfgang, and Brian Blast now team up to fight Lord Zedd as one unit. It should be noted he does not have his staff, and specifically mentions that the sorcerer Regal was not able to find it, and he disappears. So he is off and escapes. Immediately when he escapes, the two Sporks beasts grow giant, and we have to have a fight, of course. Um, in the end, oh, I should say we do use the Dino Fury Megazord blade formation for the first time. Blue head, a lot of fencing, sword action. As I've said, one of the best things about this season is the Megazord combinations. They've all been really cool, and I like that there's like different designs for it. I'm sure it's just to sell more toys, but whatever. It all looks good. Void Knight captures Regal and puts him in a cell. Says, I'm going to use some of your powers for later. At the end of the episode, the Rangers show up in their Halloween costumes. We have a zombie park warden, which is Javi, an Earth Knight, which is I had to say Earth Knight because Rafcon Knights. So that is Zato, an astronaut for Ali, a vampire for Amelia, and a leprechaun for Izzy. So that is, generally speaking, the episode. There are some major issues I had with this, and it goes into the clips. Clip shows happen. That's not the issue. That's part of Power Rangers. The issue I have is that when we showed these clips, there was redubbing. They redubbed Lord Zedd's voice. I understand why you used the new, but there's a new voice for Lord Zedd in this show, and I kind of understand that one, wanting to make it the same. So they redubbed Zedd with the new voice, but then they redubbed Alpha 5, they redubbed Zordon, and some other things I think as well. And that didn't sit right with me as a Star Wars fan who has seen someone's creator, completely change what was originally created. Um, I don't understand the point of redubbing all these voices, and it just, like I said, just did not sit well. Also, the idea of Zedd kind of being second fiddle to someone, just I was like, he's Lord Zedd, he's the man. I don't know if I even with compliance collar, I was a little like, I am excited maybe for Regal in the future, what he could potentially do with his powers. But let's get right into the monster rating of the week. Look, we do 5 different categories. It is look, powers, plan, success, voice, 1 through 5 in each category, 5 being the highest. For the look, I gave it a 2 out of 5. It is a little messy for me. Kind of looks like a dog underneath there with giant red pointy hat and skeletons. It didn't fit. It seemed like very thrown together to me. But was not the worst, or would have been one. Powers 4. I mean, I don't think we get regeneration a lot as a power. I think it's been done a couple times. I'm sure it has. There's probably nothing new under the sun in Power Rangers, but to me, it's not something you see a lot. So, while it is a one-trick pony, the potential for that, and I hope that they do capture on this, that they do bring back maybe some other monsters from other seasons, or villains, or just play around with a lot. Don't just bring back people from Dino Fury, which I know that's what they're going to do because that's probably who they have the suits for. Bring back, use this villain to its full potential. Plan 5. I mean, look, if you're evil and you're like, I want to do evil things, bringing in Lord Zedd and forcing him to be your henchman, great plan. So I appreciated that. Success 4. Look, he captured all the Rangers. Obviously, could have gone a little bit better, but Regal is not defeated yet. He is still around, and we will be able to see more from him and get a true, accurate assessment of his powers and plans and how they will implement this monster. But for now, I'm going to say a 4. Like I said, they were able to capture all the villains, or all the Power Rangers. And voice 3, it was a very like Russian heavy accent. Not the best, but it was fine. If I can do my math correctly, I believe that leaves us with an 18. and that's the rating for this monster or Sporix Beast. Again, the episode as a whole, and especially for a Halloween episode, I thought was much more story driven, because typically those are just clip shows. So I like the fact that we did get some actual substance here, but I don't like the way they handled the clips in the redubbing. Maybe that's just me, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you next time here on a podcast named Tim for more Dino Fury, Beast Morphers, Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin. We're going to be doing every season at some point. And of course, we have our movie reviews as well. See you next time.